19. Welcome to my live. I must be crazy doing this so late, but actually I'm not crazy. It's because I miss you guys and I had told you that I would be on here tonight. I should probably level with you about why I cannot get my act together on YouTube lately. Well, do stop in and say who's here. Oh no, oh my god, it's still giving me ads for Poshmark. The AI is so misguided. I'm already on there. Trust me, I know about Poshmark. Let me just turn off my sound. I'm very tired. I had like 5 hours of sleep. Hey, let me know who's here. Then I have to cover my face so I don't weird myself out looking at my own face while I'm doing this. Yeah, I want to catch up with you guys. So, a few things. One, Poshmark is driving me insane. My life is becoming like more and more unmanageable. I have to figure out a way to get a handle on this. This is crazy. I mean, like I know it can work. It's not like I haven't sold stuff. I have, but like the amount of work I've put into it, it's a bit crazy. Number two, they've brought back the darn masks and the gowns at the retirement home, and they put my mother in quarantine for coughing. Because old people cough sometimes. Imagine if every time they cough, they put them in quarantine. And I had a medical test this morning, which discovered that I definitely don't have cancer. Hi, Pam. You just got into bed, and here I am ruining it for you. Sorry, Pam. I'm really glad that you stopped in, though. I'm happy to see you. I got great news today. Hi, Lincoln. No, we won't have masks in the stores. I mean, I cannot imagine. Like, this world has gone crazy. Remember when they had the thing in 1918 and they didn't wear masks for all eternity after that? I mean, at a certain point, I think that it's time to move on. Humble opinion here. Don't. Oh, hey, thank you, Bon Ivers. Thank you so much. Okay, just like really brighten my day. Let me tell you about my problems. Like, oi, let me tell you something. Hi, Sean. I'm going to tell you how my mom's doing. I'm going to try to stay focused also. Not so easy. So I already lost my train of thought. Where was I? Hold on a second. Oh yes, first of all, I want to tell you about my medical thing. Pam, since you're here, I want to let you know. So like I told you guys last summer, before I went to Europe, remember I was going to the gym and I was working out and I was doing like a fitness challenge. And I was working out really hard, like 3 times a week at the gym, plus like 3 days doing cardio outside the gym. And I had some pain, like weird, like sort of lower abdominal pain. And it wasn't the first time. And I don't know. I've been to the doctor before and I've asked him. I think I know what it is now, but it happened like every year right around the same time. And it happened again. And before he had said, oh, you probably have an ulcer. And he gave me ulcer meds. And it turned out 2 years later, I finally got a scan. I don't have an ulcer at all. I have a hiatal hernia. So my stomach is like prolapsing through my diaphragm a bit, which sounds kind of really scary. Like it's not in the right place, but it's only a part of it. It's not that bad, but it's a bit weird. But I still had this problem. So it can't be the hiatal hernia. I don't have ulcers. But I was having problems, so I went to make an appointment. They sent me to a different clinic. I got a female doctor. Maybe that was the difference. And she gave me a urine test, and there was blood in my urine. So then they sent it to the lab, and the lab was like, yeah, there's blood in there. It's not just like a false positive on the dipstick. So they did it again, and it was blood again. And then my doctor was like, if you get blood in your urine the third time, I'm going to make a referral to urology. Can you guys imagine though? Like, imagine if somebody actually had cancer and they had blood in their urine, and the doctor's like, well, we have to see you having blood in your urine 3 times before we send you to a specialist. And then you have to wait like a good 6 months just to see that person. And then they want to do the test all over again. Hold on a second. I don't know how anybody survives up here. Like, just don't get sick. That's my advice. So I was like, well, listen, can you just make the referral? Because I've had the blood several times now. Just make the referral and then we'll test me again. I'm sure there'll be blood again. And if not, cancel it, whatever. So he did. He made the referral. And that was like in September. And then I think it was like around February, I saw the urologist. And he didn't have any of my test results. Because, okay, look, now the government here has everything in a centralized database, except that I opted out. Being the paranoid nut that I am, I didn't want to be in a centralized database. So before what did we do before we had a database? Well, the doctors would like fax stuff over, or they'd give it to the patient to take to the specialist. It worked, but now they don't do that anymore. They assume you're in the database, and if you're not, you get to the specialist and they're like, I don't have any test results. I don't know what's going on with you. So he didn't have them, so he had me like redo them. And so the thing was, I had 3 times blood in my urine, and the third time it was more, like in a lab. So they were concerned that I might have like a cancer, like, but I didn't want to be like, oh my God, you guys, I'm getting investigated, because I don't want to worry anybody. And I was like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's not that, but if it is, well, whatever, right? And I said to my doctor, I was like, well, what if I have bladder cancer? And he's like, well, then you have bladder cancer. Like, it's not my problem, And I was like, geez, thanks for the great bedside manner. But I was like, okay, well, if it was that, it would have been really, really early, because usually people have like gushes of blood, so it's only microscopic. So like it's probably not that. They said like it was like a 1% or 1 to 10% chance. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. But I did finally go get the cystoscopy, and I did it today. I was so scared. They were going to put a camera up my hoo-ha. That's the pee-pee hoo-ha, and I was scared it was gonna hurt, and I just prayed the whole time, and it was fine. Like I was very relaxed, and it was over before I knew it. And I saw my bladder on a screen, and I was like, wow, this is my first old person medical investigation. And he said it looked fine, so there's nothing wrong with my bladder. So wherever the blood was coming from, it wasn't my bladder. I don't have anything wrong with it. I certainly don't have cancer. So they don't really know where it came from. And the last time this same doctor like did another urine test on me, there was no blood in it. So who knows? Maybe it's something in my kidney. I don't know. You know what I suspect? I think actually that back in 2022, when I had this and I had more and more blood in my urine, I think it might have been because I was literally working out so hard, because it can happen. I didn't think it would happen from like the amount I was working out, and I don't know if this is the case, but it is possible to have blood in your pee from exercise, and it happened to Aaron not long ago. He wheeled too much one day, and he has a urine bag, like he has a piss bag, and it was red, man. It was like there was full of blood in there, and I was like, oh my God. And he's like, oh, it's happened before. It was like, holy crap. So I started Googling it, and I was like, oh my God, this doesn't look good. And then it said it could be from too much exercise. And I was like, well, you did wheel all the way back from Côte St. Luc, so maybe that did it. And it went away. But anyway, just to let you know, I was a bit, concerned mostly about having the test. And I'm totally fine, and it went really well. And like, thank God. So I guess I'm okay, I mean, it could be some little thing with my kidney that there was some blood. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's not my bladder, so we know that. So that's number one. I wanted to tell you, thanks for all of your prayers that you do for me, because, I need them. And thank you. I think God is listening. Okay, so what else was on my agenda? I'm so tired. I'm like super foggy because I had 5 hours of sleep, and I went there this morning. And I should never have an appointment at 8 in the morning. It's a bad idea. But I did it. Wait, let me refer to what I wrote on Patreon, because otherwise I don't even know what I was going to talk about. I know I wanted to talk about the masks. Okay, so I had my test. Oh my God, yeah, they put my mom in quarantine. Okay, so I went up to visit my mom like I do all the time. Yeah, Pam, I'm so glad it's not my bladder, because it's not good. You're not supposed to have blood in your urine, and the worst thing that they think of is bladder cancer, because like, why else would you have blood in your urine? They checked me for kidney stones already, and I didn't have them, so they were like, well, the only thing left is the bladder. So anyway, yeah, thank you, Pam. So I went up to see my mom like I always do, and she was in a room. They put her back in quarantine. I mean, really, is this ever going to end? And my mom was fine. She was up and walking and talking. And I was like, so why is she in quarantine? What's wrong with her? And they're like, she coughed. Oh, really? You know, like old people never cough. Yeah, that's weird. Definitely lock her up, put her in a tower somewhere, keep her away from society. She's only 88. God knows how much damage she might do. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like they've lost their heads. Okay, you guys need to stop telling me to take my mom home. You have to stop because I know that in your mind that makes sense, but in reality it doesn't make any sense. I take care of my son and my partner. I have a very small apartment. I am constantly working from morning till night with many side hustles. My mother has advanced dementia. She cannot walk by herself. She cannot feed herself. She cannot toilet herself. She can be very like uncooperative. She has a tendency to wander. She is in a unit where she is locked in because she wanders. Wandering is not safe for her. She is completely unable to take care of herself, and there's nowhere to put her. It is literally not doable. Having my mother here, like, I mean, do I have to explain more? Are you starting to get the picture? Because I've heard this a few times. People saying, "Take your mom home." Really? Have you seen my apartment? I don't know how much you can see there, but like, do you know that I live in a shoebox with another person and 4 rabbits, and I'm on call as a caregiver to Aaron, who's downstairs in 702? Oh, I just told you his apartment. Whatever. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, Aaron is downstairs. Never mind what apartment he's in. Well, I guess you can come visit him. He probably won't care. Yeah, and some of you already have my address, so whatever. Now you know where we live. Doesn't matter. It's not like I'm Trisha Paytas or anything. Who's gonna show up? So yeah, Aaron is downstairs, and I'm on call. And you know, what do you think I am? Like, do you think there's like multiple copies of me to like take care of all these people? Like, please explain. I don't understand. How do people think that I would be able to take my mother with advanced dementia and bring her home into my home and take care of her myself? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I have a friend who is a single man. Actually, it's my friend that I went to visit in Croatia. And when his mother had dementia, he had her in his home. And it's a fire hazard for one thing, because she would like take the paper coffee cup, put it on the burner. Is that fair to my son? Like, would any of that be fair to my son? I mean, listen, I don't like the fact that she's there either, but basically my mother's sick. And this is where she can get care. Like, if you have, there's some things that it's a medical issue and like is beyond what the family can do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll hire a live-in caregiver. We'll put my mother in the living room. We'll put the caregiver in the closet with all my marketplace stuff. I don't know. I mean, you guys, it's not realistic at all, you know? Let me see. Yeah, anyway, I'm sure people mean well. And like, I guess if you lived in like a house where there were many rooms, and then on top of it, maybe you could hire people to take care of them, your family member. Yeah, I guess. But let me tell you, my friend, actually Justin, who some of you may know, his father had a stroke. Okay, yeah, oh, with dementia, it's a safety issue. Absolutely. For her and for us, it's totally impossible. By the way, on a tangent, do you know what people used to do with their relatives who had mental illness, like before they had all those institutions? You know how they had all those like Victorian asylums that later, with the deinstitutionalization movement in the 70s, they like started putting people out of those. And there was a time where it was abused, and a husband could just send his wife there because she doesn't like to do the cleaning or whatever. And a lot of women were institutionalized. But do you know why they started those things? Because you know what people did before those things existed? They used to like literally put them in cages in the basement. And there's some documentaries out there still where in some countries, like I saw one in the Philippines, where people who had people with mental illness in their family that was completely unmanageable, they literally had to put them in shackles, like for their safety and everyone else's, or put them in a bamboo cage. So there is a reason why there are places where people send their relatives when it's, when there's a need. And they take good care of her. Although they've lost their heads a little bit with this whole, somebody coughed thing. Um, so yeah, no, that's totally impossible. Wait, there was something else I was going to tell you. I'm so tired today. Yes, thank you, Pam. I'm glad you understand. Oh, yes. Okay, about the full-time help. Okay, so Justin's father had a stroke. Wait. Oh my God, Gunnar fell asleep. Like, I didn't even know he was in his bed. Here I am talking. No, there is a need to explain. I've never, thank you, Love Love. I've never explained it really before because I was like, it's a no-brainer. You cannot have someone in their late 80s with advanced dementia. Like, they need one-on-one care. I can't have her in my house. I'm not able to give her what she needs, you know? Anyway, Gunnar's sleeping. That's good. His clock, like his biological, not his biological clock, his like circadian rhythm is like rebalancing. So that's really good. Yeah, no, whoever thinks that I could have her here needs to come and stay with me like for the weekend. And they're gonna be like, yeah, I don't even know how you live here, like let alone add another person. Just spend the day with me and you're gonna see, like, trust me, I've got enough on my plate. Anyway, so Justin's father had a stroke. And so they were like, well, I shouldn't have said it was Justin, maybe. Anyway, too late. He had a stroke, and so they were like, well, we want to keep everything the way it always has been, which is what everybody says, you know? And so they kept him at home. And they thought they could just like rotate, you know, all the family members take care of him. Well, 2 years later, he had to move to a care home because it's unsustainable and extremely expensive. Like, I've known people who've literally spent $250,000 on private care in just like a matter of 2 or 3 years. That's all that, you know, like, let's say you have a house and it's all paid off and you bought it for very little and now it's worth $1 million or whatever. You keep that person at home and you're just going to spend all that money, and guess what, you're going to run out and then you're going to have to put them in the home anyway. I mean, it's just reality. It's crappy. I guess if you're very rich and you can afford it, then you can do that, but that's basically all you're going to do. You're going to lose your house. So like the you know, the descendants, the children and the grandchildren and everybody, like, they just lose the family home, and the person still ends up, you're delaying the inevitable by like a couple of years. That's it. Nobody can keep it up. I've seen people try. I have another friend, her father has dementia, and they did the same. They wanted to keep him in his house. Finally, he had to go somewhere. And now her mother has many medical problems and she's in her 80s, and everyone's like, oh, but mom doesn't want to move. And I'm you know, I guess at this age, like, I'm watching this happen with myself and my friends' parents, and I see why. Like, I used to say, oh, I'd never send my mother to a retirement home. That's horrible. Those places are terrible. But then reality is, like, you don't have the means. You know, I don't have the means to give her that level of care because I'm not independently wealthy. Like, if I didn't have to work and I had tons of money and I had a nice big house and it could be set up safely, then yeah. But that's not, you know, reality. And I'm watching people that I know who are doing this now with their parents and, you know, basically delaying the inevitable. And I have one friend who has given her life, you know, to taking care of her mother. Basically, she, you know, she has a sister, and the sister lives in another city, and the sister is very successful and very wealthy, and my friend is really not. Like, she's really financially struggling, and it's weird how the role of the caregiver has fallen on her. The other one's like, well, I can't come, I have children and I have work, you do it. And it's kind of weird, like, to see the dynamic. Like, there's one in the family who's successful and married and with children and owns her own home, and they're not going to do it. And then it's the one that didn't marry, you know, or who doesn't have a career and is just struggling to make ends meet. That's the one who ends up being a caregiver. And I've known a few people like that, and I'm telling them, like, get paid. You need to get on emploi de service. You need to get some compensation for what you're doing. You cannot do that. You cannot be a caregiver and hold a job somewhere else. It's impossible. It is a job. So, get paid for it. And they're like, oh, I don't know how to arrange that. It's too complicated and they won't give us very much. And I'm like, well, they'll give you something. And if you don't do it, you can use the money to hire someone else. But I mean, I see a lot of people go through this and they end up just like there's this guy in the neighborhood. He must be in his late 50s or maybe more. And his mother, oh no, he's more than that. His mother just turned 100. She has dementia. He lives with her, sole caregiver. He does everything for her. And he's like, oh, she doesn't want to move. And he's been taking care of her for years. He doesn't get paid anything. He doesn't, they haven't arranged to get some funding for her. Yeah, she's 100 now. Maybe, I mean, I guess at this point he's like, well, I've been doing it for 20 years. How much longer can she live? Well, your daughter told you she isn't a caretaker. Okay, it really just depends on the person. I mean, yeah, reality is people need a roof over their head. They need to eat. Their children need things. Like taking care of someone it takes your time. It's basically like a job. It is a job that people get paid to do it. So if you're taking care even of a family member, you can get a caregiver allowance usually. Well, in Quebec you can, and you don't have to use it on yourself. You can keep doing what you're doing for free, but you can hire someone to give you some respite. Anyway, so there's that. So she's in the retirement home, and I couldn't believe it. They made me put a mask on the other day. I was like, seriously? We're doing this again? Do you get paid as family caregivers in the States? I don't know. But in Quebec, they have a program because the public system is really bad. So they do need people to take care of people in the community. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people like dealing with aging parents and like not wanting to make the move. And it's like, well, I mean, if you've got tons and tons of money, you can hire people, but you're gonna have to hire them. No, you're not offensive, Blue Flyer. Like a lot of people have said this to me, why don't you have her move in? But I think I've been hearing that for like about 6 years. So after 6 years I was like, listen, let me tell you why she doesn't live with me. So yeah, they're making people wear masks. I'm like, yeah, because it worked really well last time. Oh my God, not the residents. So here's the thing, like the residents don't wear masks. They're of dementia. You put a mask on them, they'll put it on their head, they're gonna play with it. They don't have masks. Just us, the people who come in or work there, like the staff and the visitors, we wear masks. It's very strange. Do they really think that that's gonna make a difference? I guess they do. I mean, really. And here's the crazy part, okay? Like back during the pandemic when they were studying all these health measures, they weren't doing a very thorough job, in some ways, especially in North America, but there were people doing studies all over the world. And they discovered that gowns made literally no difference whatsoever. Like whether people wore gowns when they went somewhere or not, and gloves didn't make any difference. Because if you think about it, the glove, it's like, let's say I'm taking care of, I don't know, Aaron's foot, okay? And he has a wound, and I'll wear the gloves so that I don't put my dirty fingers on his wound. Or if he has an infection, I will wear the gloves so that I don't get staph or whatever on my fingers, because what if I have a little cut and then I get a staph infection? That's what the gloves are for. It's a hygiene measure for like skin to skin. I mean, that's what we usually used it for. I have gloves. We use gloves for certain things. I use them mostly to protect myself. But for a respiratory illness that comes out of here, they didn't find, to the best of my knowledge, if someone can find a study that showed that the gloves actually did anything, let me know. I mean, I've seen studies that showed that hand washing, I guess even sanitizing, cut down on pneumonia and gastro by about half. And this was in India. And let me tell you though, that's kind of a very particular context because they were looking at a community. Hi, me. What? You're in Montreal? Oh, cool. Are you seriously? Represent, you know? M. Represent Montreal. Um, yeah, like there are places in India, I think Pakistan, where they don't have toilets. And they shit on the railroad tracks. I kid you not. They literally leave the housing area, they go to where the railroad is, and they poop over there, and then they come back. And it's a problem because imagine the sanitation. So they did some studies over there. Yeah, look it up. For real, Susan. Look it up. They shit on the railroad tracks. So, well, maybe it's improved now, but this was about 3 or 4 years ago. So they did some studies about hand washing because they also have like shortages of water and stuff. And they discovered that lo and behold, if you wash your hands, you don't spread as many germs. That's science. It's proven. But I don't know about the gloves though. Anyway, they made me wear gloves. I didn't actually wear them though. I just had them in my hand. And I put this stupid yellow, it was a cloth gown. I put it on. I was like, I don't care. You want to make me wear like a prom dress? That's fine, whatever, you know. But I just thought, like, this has become a madness. Like the pandemic in 2020, like I get it. It was a new thing. Okay, we're almost in 2024. Why are you making me wear a yellow gown? You know what the yellow gowns are usually for in the hospital? It's when people have C. diff. Like when they have something really contagious, the yellow gown, it doesn't actually act as a barrier. It's just cloth. What it does is it tells other people stay away from that person. That's the fact of why they wear yellow gowns. But now they put yellow gown, they put a yellow gown on me. I don't have anything. So anyway, I feel like, you know, the thing is they have to follow orders, but I feel like, what, have y'all lost your minds? I mean, really, how is this possible? Because they didn't used to do this. Like, because I was there in the retirement homes before the pandemic, they got flu, and we didn't wear masks, and we didn't wear yellow gowns and gloves. And when my mother got it, flu or a cold, because literally, they're telling me on the ward, oh, they have symptoms. Oh, really? What are they? Well, they have a runny nose. I'm like, oh, it sounds like a cold. They put them in their rooms for a cold, you know? Oh, well, we don't know what it is. Well, I mean, you know what they say? If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So if you have a runny nose and you don't have a fever, Google it, you know? It's probably a cold. But they put my mom in her room anyway. I can't believe it. So I thought, wow, that's not a good sign because now the retirement homes are making people wear masks again and yellow gowns. That's new. We didn't wear them before. Like, we haven't worn gowns since about 2020. Like at the height of this. But they were like disposable paper gowns. I mean, you know, it's just, are people just so traumatized now or what? That, like, as soon as somebody gets a sniffle, they're like, oh my God, it's a new virus. Yeah, grew up playing in the dirt. I know, like, we grew up seriously, like, so dirty. Drinking from the water hose, that was probably okay. But we weren't so germ phobic at the time. Remember the 5-second rule? Imagine now. Imagine the horror. I would still do it. I bet, like, I just imagine the horror. I should make a video, right? Somebody film me, like, drop my food on the floor and pick it up and eat it. Because I would. Because I'm that confident that it's not going to kill me. 5-second rule. And just watch people's horror. I'm just looking at your comments. Time to rewild. Yeah. Well, you know what? You have a good point. Apparently, like, all these things we use to sanitize our homes, like even dish soap and all these cleansers, They all are sort of antibacterial, and as you're ingesting them, you're killing off some of your microbiome. I wonder if that has an effect. Like, I wonder if anyone's ever really studied like what kind of effect that has on everything, like immune system and metabolism. I hardly use anything. I mean, I occasionally clean the floors with, Mr. Clean, or I use peroxide. I use Mrs. Meyer's. It's like essential oils and stuff for cleaning, mostly. I do use dish soap though. I'm not the kind of person that has a lot of chemicals. You know, one of the worst is those air fresheners. You know, the Glade, and you plug it in. It's disgusting. You're breathing that in all the time. Dove. Oh, I like to use like the natural soaps. You guys remember when I went to the carnival? I bought a whole bag of soaps. Like, that's the kind of stuff I like to use. Dish soap to clean. No, I use the Mrs. Meyer's like for just about everything except for the dishes. Sometimes I use dish soap to do hand laundry, though. It works pretty well. Dryer sheets, yeah. Yeah, they are really bad. Like, I hardly use any products. Wait, you work hard for your money, do not rent? Wait, are you saying I shouldn't rent an apartment? Or I shouldn't rent my cleaning supplies? Today I had to rent a washer and dryer. I was finally maxed out on doing hand laundry. It felt like a luxury. I just want to see what you were saying about I shouldn't rent. Wait, who was that? Oh, that's Blue Flyer again. Okay, so you're one of those people who like to give people advice? Is that it? Giving free life advice. Yeah, let me tell you something about renting. See, there's a problem here. I don't know how it is in the States. In Canada, the houses are very expensive, like 500, 600,000 on the low end. You need a mortgage unless you have $500,000 lying around. And if you do, you probably aren't renting. Maybe you are. I don't know. And here's the problem. The way they decide whether you get the mortgage and how much mortgage you get is based on how much you earn. You could have, let's say you want a house for $500,000 and you have $200,000 in the bank, but you only earn $40,000 a year, for example, like some people we know, they will give you a mortgage for $120,000, which means it will not cover your house. You cannot get a house. So that's the thing. You cannot just buy a house just like that. If you have very little down payment, like 5 or 10% down payment, but you make $100,000 or $150,000 a year, they'll give you that mortgage. That's how it works, which is a bit crazy, because if somebody's been paying their rent for like 30 years and they never miss a payment, why would they miss a mortgage payment? You have friends that got approved for 200 grand and houses that are 300 grand. Well, here they're like 5 or 600 grand, and you get approved for 120 if you're like in my income bracket. And that's maybe being generous. Maybe I could get a mortgage for 100,000. I would have to cough up like $500,000. You guys can help if you want. I think there's a donate button here somewhere. Hit that donate button. Hit that, what's it called, the super chat, GoFundMe. Yeah, I mean, if you really want me to get a house, Blue Flyer, I don't know like what your finances are like, but hit me up. What did you say, 67,000 for what? A house? Oh, hey, Uncool, how's it going? Your condo is 600,000? Yeah, so you bought it back in the day. I asked my father, I like begged him. I was like, please give me some money to make a down payment. Hey, Uncool. So I wanted to buy a condo in the 90s. They were so cheap. I was like, please, Daddy. It's only $90,000. I only need like 10 as a deposit. And he was like, he didn't want to do it. He's like, oh, but if you miss a payment, they take away your house. And I was like, I never miss a rent payment. Why would I miss a rent payment? Well, it didn't happen. So, that's how it went. And then after that, the prices went up a lot. I mean, at the time, he could have done it. He passed away in, what was it, 2009. So I guess up until he passed away, I guess he could have helped me out, but he didn't. But yeah, the 90s was a great time to buy real estate here. It was so cheap. And I had no savings though. I had, enough that I could have covered my rent or whatever, but I didn't have any savings at all. But anyway, here we are. I'm still renting. Let me tell you about Poshmark. Wait, was there something else I wanted to tell you about? Oh yeah, I just wanted to say like about the nurses at my mother's retirement home. Okay, so there's this one nurse. She's really nice. She's very friendly. And I was telling her, oh, I have to go tomorrow and get this cystoscopy. Like they just want to see because I had blood in my urine. And I never go to doctors. I take care of all my problems because I have the right diet. And you know what? Like maybe 15 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, I know, right? But now I know that it's really not that simple because my mother was one of those people who would say, oh, the reason that I am so beautiful and so lively and youthful is the right diet. And a year later, she got dementia because shit happens. She did well. I mean, up until 81, you guys saw her. She was fantastic. But, then something happened and she got dementia. And it wasn't her diet. And so this woman's telling me, like, because I mentioned that I had blood in my urine. Oh, well, what's your diet like? Well, my diet's like whatever I can afford, basically. But I don't eat any junk food. I should have told her, well, I usually start my day with like a microwave burrito. Then I stop at Dairy Queen. I mean, I don't know. What do you think I eat? I eat food, like just normal food, But she's like, do you like vegetables? And I'm like, yeah, I like vegetables. She's like, do you like spinach? I'm like, yeah, I love spinach. She goes, aha. Oh, I figured it out. She's like, well, spinach, you shouldn't eat spinach because it's a blood thinner and it can cause bleeding. And I was like, oh my God, Dr. Google, go away. I don't have it because I eat too much spinach. I eat it like a couple times a year. Like I hardly ever eat it because Aaron hates it. But it's like, yeah, okay, I brought it on myself. It must have been the spinach, Turns out it's not the spinach. I mean, really. I recommend at this point that you don't give people health advice unless they ask for it. It's really annoying because you don't know who you're talking to. And I felt like being like, do you know who I am? Do you realize that you're talking to the truther girl? Like, stop. It's so like insulting, and it's like that for everyone. That's why like when people are sick, like don't give them advice because it kind of like it makes it look like you're assuming that you're smarter than they are and you know stuff that they don't know. But they have access to the internet. I'm sure they can figure it out. Maybe they don't want to know. Unless they ask you. I don't give anyone advice anymore. Unless they ask me. But she was basically telling me like, oh, like I never go to the doctor. I'm like, yeah, I never go to the doctor either, except when I'm pissing blood, and then it's kind of like a have to. Oh no, I should just cut down on the spinach. No, it's giving health advice. It's really annoying because like I follow a few channels of people who have like chronic health issues. Oh, hey, thank you so much, Bronco Sunrise. Thank you for the super chat with the cute little guy there. Thank you. I appreciate it. I follow a few channel of people with health issues. Hi, Jody. And one thing I noticed was like everyone's giving them like health advice in the comments. And there's like people with cancer and they're like, drink ginger juice. A lot of people have heard about those things, and if it really worked that well, we'd know by now. And I had a friend, she's not alive anymore, who went that route. She had colon cancer, which is usually pretty treatable. She refused even the surgery. And she decided to just go with something else that she had heard about on the internet and like to literally DIY it. And the tumor grew and she died. That was Janie. Remember Janie? She used to do the videos with me. The Anita Hit videos. We used to call her I'm a Stoner. Yeah, Janie died. And like, I'm not blaming her, you know, it wasn't that simple. Like, she did eventually, she had to go because the tumor got so big it caused a bowel obstruction and she ended up with a colostomy bag. And then she got better for a while and then it came back. But she drank Essiac because she thought that that would, oh, like, that'll take care of it. She actually told me, oh, when they said you have colon cancer, this was what she said. I quote, she said, and I was like, oh, no problem. I know what to do. She went to the pharmacy. She got the Essiac. She tried to just do that. And it got really big. And she ended up in emergency surgery. And yeah, she learned the hard way. I'm not blaming her, you know. But there's no like one answer to anyone's health problems. There's millions of things out there that might help people in different ways. But boy, is it annoying when you look at the comment sections and people are like, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's like, well, you don't know. Oh, yeah, absolutely. People die from doctor treatments. That's like one of the top causes of death. No, absolutely. Yeah, it's like in the top 3. No, I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol at all. Yeah, iatrogenic death, unfortunately. Oh my God, I just found the most amazing book in the garbage the other day. It's all about like the medicalization of America, and it's about how they got Americans on so many pharmaceuticals. I mean, for sure it's overused, you know. But, you know, on the one hand, you have like doctor accidents, iatrogenic deaths, and medication accidents, whatever. And on the other hand, you have people who just try to DIY like some of the most deadly diseases known to mankind, you know. So like neither one of them is good, but I think the best thing to do is just get professional help, but be an informed patient and, you know, advocate for yourself and be open to things. But, you know, the reason I was talking about this was not to say like don't look for alternative medicine and complementary medicine. I mean, look, I'm still the witch, you know, I still like do that stuff all the time, right? With success, you know, for our little things that we deal with. But for something like really important, you know, it's not a DIY, I don't think. But the point of why I was saying this was that my advice was actually just don't give people advice. It's so annoying because they get it from everyone. And it's like when, you know, I have a child who has autism, and you know how many times I've heard people telling me why he's autistic? Oh, really? You figured it out. And what I should do about it, or how many times I've heard, oh, autistic people are this, autistic people are that. And it's like, yeah, I'm autistic, so, you know. I know about it. I don't tell them that, though. Okay, you're leaving, Susan? So yeah, just don't overload people with like too much unwanted advice for anything. And you know what? Giving advice is like the most ungrateful business. Let me tell you, I don't do it anymore, and I have made a couple exceptions and I regret it. It's just like not worth it. Especially when you have friends that like they never talk to you until they have a problem, and then they come crying to you, and then you give them advice and support and you're there for them, and then they don't talk to you again. And I've noticed like they come to you and they're like, oh, I have this problem, I have that problem, and you're like, well, there's this, there's that, you know, okay, you asked me for my opinion. And then afterwards you're the devil, you know, especially when it's relationship stuff. Like I had this one friend, she was with this guy and he was really abusive, and he was actually like, he was on meth, you know. Well, he was like in his 40s, and then he decided to get involved with drugs. So he was like going to raves, and then he got involved with meth. And I was telling, she was really depressed, and I was telling her, you don't need this guy, you don't need him, you can manage on your own and whatever. And they had a baby together, you know. And while she was pregnant, like he wasn't around, and I was trying to just encourage her, and I was like, you know, he doesn't treat you well. That's what she was telling me. And I knew it was true, and I was just trying to encourage her. Well, anyway, when she had that baby, I was the devil, because all of a sudden she just completely flipped. She completely fell under his spell. She didn't want to hear anything that I'd said, and she, like, they both, like, Sonia was the devil now. So that was many years ago, like 15 years ago, and ever since that, I was like, that's the last time. If you got problems, they're yours. I don't want to get involved, you know? Screw that. Wait, you had left me some comments? Have I ever been to Kitchalos Upa on Hochelaga? No. No, I haven't. No, I'm looking for a pen. I need to stop thrifting, though. I think that's the last thing I want to tell you about. Wait, I'm going to write that down. Wait, you're sick of your family giving you advice? He's 14, non-speaking, autistic. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what you're doing. I mean, really, you know. Oh my God. When Gunnar was little, it was the worst. People were like, well, what I do with my kid when they do that. I remember this one. She's like, when my kid gets upset, I say, she'd sing this little song. When I get real mad and I want to roar, I stop and count to 4. And I was like, go stuff yourself, you know, like, that's not going to work. Okay, take him for the week and then get back to me on how well that worked out. Oh my God. Gunnar's doing really well, though. He's at school. He's doing okay. Apparently did well in math test even. I'm very proud of him right now. Did I tell you, we went back up to the oratory to say thank you for all the answered prayers, because guys, seriously, all the prayers were answered. Because his school situation, in case you don't know, they were going to kick him out. They were going to send him to another school for kids with learning disabilities and behavior problems. He doesn't have either one of those. He has like anxiety and avoidance problems, you know, but is not belonging in that kind of school, and he's very smart. So he doesn't have like learning disabilities. They were going to send him there. He didn't want to go there. He's been moved too many times, and it would have just screwed him up. And he would have dropped out. So it wasn't looking good at all. Then we went to the oratory and we said those prayers. And the school, all of a sudden, 2 days later, they totally changed their mind. They were like, okay, well, he can, no more talk about sending him to another school. They're like, he could go into grade 11 if he takes these 2 courses in summer school and passes them. But he was not even in a state to do that. So he said, Gunnar said to me he was just going to drop out. And I was like, okay, I mean, what can you do, you know? I guess go take your exams for GED, like whenever you're ready. But I thought, well, it's going to take a while. But anyway, he was going to drop out. And I was like, oh, well, on the bright side, I don't have to get up at 7:30 in the morning anymore. Like, it's such a pain. But I didn't want him to, because he'd be alone all the time, you know? And, yeah, the Croc issues. Yeah, we still haven't solved that one. He wanted to drop out because they were going to put him in grade 10 because he couldn't do the summer school. Well, at the end of the year, I mean, at the start of the summer, at the start of school year, at the end of summer, the teacher calls me and I'm like, yeah, he's not coming back. He wants to drop out. She's like, actually, I was calling to tell you that we're going to go ahead and put him in grade 11, even though he didn't do the summer school. And he's just going to have to repeat the Sec 4 history and math. And I was like, wow, oh my God. It was just unbelievable. It was like all our problems completely 180'd. So we went back up to the oratory to say thanks and say more prayers. And we prayed for some other things, which now we're getting sort of miracles with that, which I can't really talk about, though, because it involves other people and stuff. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see Gunnar having faith and, you know, praying with me. And then the last thing was, oh my God, Poshmark. So I had one day last week where I sold like 12 things in one day. I sold 8 of them on Poshmark and 4 of them in person. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of sales, you know? Then the next 2 days I had like 1 sale per day on Marketplace. And I think I had one day where I had no sale. And then yesterday I sold a pair of shoes on Poshmark. But basically, I haven't had any sale on Poshmark in the last 4 days, except for that one pair of shoes. And I should just do actually a video about this, because this is like, it's a pretty big issue. Poshmark apparently like created a new thing where you can ask for a partial refund. I'm kind of worried that my phone is going to die. Hold on a second, let me take you with me. Well, I'll just tell you this real quick. That you can ask for a partial refund. So the problem is, this is perfect for scammers. So what happened was, I sold this gorgeous vintage dress. This was a very unusual dress, the kind that sells for like $90 or more on Etsy. It was a real 1960s, what do you call it? What do you call that material? Oh, I'm so tired, I can't think of it right now. Not toile in French. No, it's not canvas. Anyway, I'm too tired, I can't think of the material. But it's like a very, very thick cotton. And it has this very high quality paisley print on it. And it's a no iron fabric, which is a special technique they used to use. Anyway, this was a true vintage. No, not linen. Cotton something. I really can't think right now. I'm too tired. Okay, good night. Love. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know. I think it starts with a T, but I can't think of that word right now. Oh, my vape ran out of juice. Now I'm really screwed. Home. I have to take you. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna tell you. Anyway, what is the name of that material? They use it for coats and stuff. Twill. Yeah. Well, it was almost like a twill, right? Well, anyway, I sold her this fabulous dress at an extremely cheap price. I sold it to her for like almost 50% off. It was $35. And she like put me through the ringer asking for all these measurements, and I happily obliged, and I did everything, and I added more photos, and then she bought the dress. And then she complains. Okay, good night, Pam. Love you too. Thanks for stopping by. She complains that the cotton is not as thick that it was supposed to be a thick cotton. Listen, anything thicker than that's canvas. What are you talking about? Then she complains that the pit-to-pit measurement wasn't 37, it was 44, and it was like, that was completely bogus. I told her that the tour around the chest was 37 inches, not centimeters, and she takes a picture, and the garment's not even flat. It's like this, and she's like measuring it. Anyway, she's obviously coming up with completely bullshit reasons to open a case against me. And then the other one was that, oh, the seller didn't disclose the item had been altered. And it was like, no, I told you that it was handmade and partly hand sewn. So the hem was hand sewn. So she discovered that inside here on the armpit, there was also like a base stitch done by hand. She considered that altered. But literally it was a stitch that if you didn't like it, you could just take one scissor and just pull it right out, right? It's a base stitch. It's just like this. But I said, it's a vintage garment. This might have been part of how it was made. She wanted a partial refund. So this is Poshmark's new policy. You don't have to send the item back. You can ask for a partial refund. So that's what the scammers are doing now. They buy your thing. She already got it on a discount of like a third of the price or what she would have paid on Etsy. And then she has the nerve to ask me. She wants to keep the garment and she wants $8 refund. Yeah, petty. And I was like, yeah, she's probably going to go sell it somewhere and make $150 with it. I practically gave it to her. I was trying to be nice, but that's what you get for being nice. Thankless business. So I wrote to Poshmark, please rule that she return the garment and that I give her a full refund. Because honestly, I don't care about the money. You don't like it. I mean, it not fitting is not a reason to send it back, but you got a complaint, you want to send the whole thing back. I don't care. I'll give you back your money. I hardly made any profit on it anyway. Give it back to me. I'll sell it to someone else for like 3 times as much. It's fine. Send it back. And then as soon as I said that, Poshmark took my side and ruled that she would send it back to me for a refund. All of a sudden she changed her tune. Oh, well, actually these are just like really minor issues and I've decided to keep the garment. And I was like, what the hell was that? And then I see another YouTuber who does reselling. She was talking about the same thing happened to her. People buy things, then they come up with some reason, and they are so dirty. Like this one, she sold her shoes, okay? And the buyer took the soles out from the inside and claimed that the shoes were sent with no insoles and wanted a $30 refund. A partial refund, like that's a terrible idea. And that's what Poshmark is doing now. So, I don't like it. And it already happened to me once, but you have to protect yourself. You have to like take pictures in the box of the item with the soles and everything. It's so stupid, you know? But I mean, I've been on there 6 months and it's the first time it happened. But the main problem with Poshmark is, man, is it ever time consuming. It is not a side hustle. I have terrible time taking photos because my place, like there's not even one corner in this house where I have like a plain white wall. Like there is nowhere that I can just, well, there is one place in my room. There's a small area, but there's no lighting. And I've tried halo lights. I've tried even, I have an LED light. It's so dark in my place. I can't even get a decent picture. I've taken photos of things in the lobby just to have some lighting. Today I took photos of things in the laundromat. I mean, I just don't know where to go to take a decent picture. What I do is sometimes when I get things from a thrift store, I'll take a picture before I even get home, because once I get it in here, it's so dark and it's so time consuming because I can't just take the picture and post it. I have to take it, try many times because the colors are warped, the lighting's terrible, run it through a background remover. Oh my God, you guys, it is so much work. Taking the pictures is so time consuming. Holy crap. And I've tried doing it at night. I can't do it because I can't do it. The lights that I have, the halo light and whatever, they're no good. I mean, it'll turn white things green. It's just awful. So I end up doing it in the day, which means that it's sucking up my daytime, which means that there's other things I need to be doing in the day that are not getting done. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is crazy. Who called this a side hustle? How is this a side hustle? This is like literally 24/7. How are people, like, I'm watching other people who do Poshmark. They're like, I work 10 hours a week. I'm like, really? How? You know? Can I hang a curtain? Yeah, where? Even if I hang a curtain, I have a white wall over here. Well, look, I'll show you what I do. I'm gonna take this off because I have to get the plug anyway. Okay, I'll show you. I show you where I've been doing it. Hold on a second. Okay, you see right here? See, I do have a white wall here. But you see how, like, it's got all, like, plaster? Like, look how bad... you probably can't see anything because it's too dark. But this is, like, plaster, and this is paint, and it looks very hobo. It looks a bit crack house, you know? But so I take the paintings off, and I hang the thing here. But look at the lighting. It's so bad. And the other thing I do, see, there's my halo light, which does nothing for me. I hang things here. Oh. See, I just have this tiny little space here. Or I do it in front of the cupboard, or I try to do it there. But look, I mean, first of all, there's a hole in the wall. They're going to be like, who are we buying these clothes from? Yeah, I try to hang things there. And I use this light. Where is it? Oh yeah, I showed you this one. This halo light. It does nothing. And I have this here. But it warps the color. But like see, this is from Aaron's, like the tire dirt that gets all over his hands. It's all over the place. And then the place is really small, so it's cluttered. Like, it's literally impossible. Anyway. That's, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm not here to just complain. Like, seriously, that is, yeah, these are the only two, like, blank walls that I have. And, there's no lighting. I'll show you, this is my window right here. There's really not a lot of light that comes through there. Looks like a cool blue light. It will distort the color. Everything distorts. I'm afraid to buy another one because I have this one and I have a small one and I have the LED light and they're all horrible. You wouldn't believe the colors, like it just completely warps everything looks like crap. I think you need to have like a really nice white wall and a good iPhone, like a new iPhone. They take good pictures. But that's the problem. That's why it takes me so much time that it's like a warm light. Trust me, and I've tried all the filters. I just can't get it right. Like I had this pink jacket and it came out looking like so yellow. I thought like, oh, nobody's gonna want to buy it. It looks super dingy. What's my bathroom like? It looks like a crack house like the rest of my place. Here, I'll show you. Just close the toilet just in case. You don't have to see my filthy toilet, which I just cleaned. So basically, yeah, this is what it looks like. This is for all my hand washing. And still doing laundry. I mean, this is clearly not... It's not a room to take pictures in. It's got one of those lights. It's no good. Trust me, I've tried. I've tried in here. I've tried in the kitchen. I've tried in every room. I mean, whatever you can think of, I've tried it. Like this shoebox has not a single place where I can take decent pictures. And this is the jacket I'm trying to sell. You cannot imagine the nightmare that I've already gone through with this jacket. I just want to show you that the jacket is actually okay. It's fine. It's really cute. And it's clean. And it's pink. Here, maybe the light will be okay. Hold on, I'll show you. Okay, see that? It's a 0.0 jacket. Stop moving. I don't know how it looks to you, but I don't know what color it looks like to you, but it is actually clean. Ah, you see, if I move back, now you kind of see that. Actually, it is pink. But, like, you see how, like, things, like, look at the color. See how gray it looks? It's like, ooh, it looks really gross and dingy. But it isn't. Like, it's a nice little pink jacket. I wish I could get it to turn this way. So you can see. Hold on one second. Sorry. I'm going to put it back up. Why does this stay put? Okay, so when I'm back here, you can see that, oh, well, see, and it keeps turning too. Anyway, whatever. You guys get the point. Like, look, even me just trying to show it to you, it looks what? What's post? Taupe? Taupe? Taupe means mole in French. The color of a mole. Yeah, see, exactly. Well, the conversation was the fact that I'm having an extremely hard time taking pictures of clothes for Marketplace and Poshmark in my apartment. Like, it is so time consuming. It is absolutely grueling. Like, I'm suffering, seriously. It's so bad. It is a nightmare. The pictures. I mean, you know, it's great. I got a whole lot of stuff. I finally came across one of those church sales, and the crazy thing was I had just bought all these things at a thrift store because they had all these great boots. I mean, they seemed great to me at the time. Maybe I made really bad purchases, but hold on. Ugh, I can't get this thing out. Wait, let me just check how my battery is. Oh, it's 48%. Okay, I'll take it out. Okay, here, I'll show you one of these boots. This is really crazy, you guys. Look at this. Look at this boot. It's actually super, super high. It's like an over-the-knee boot. See how high it is? Like super, super long, and it's suede. But here's a problem I didn't notice until after. It's got a little rip in it. I don't know. I've gotten really good at fixing things, so I could probably fix it. Sell it for very little. Sell it on Marketplace, you know, even if it's got a rip. But it is pretty cool. What do you think? And Yeah, I'm still doing Marketplace. I got turned off Marketplace because they flagged one of my Geox shoes. And I was like, "What? You're gonna kick me out for selling a legit Geox shoe? That's messed up." And it that's what drove me over to Poshmark because before I was selling on Marketplace. For years. I've been doing it for many years. Like since before the pandemic. I think it was like during the pandemic that I started to get better at it and more serious, and they changed the setup. Before that there were just these buy and sell groups and it wasn't a lot of traffic. But I don't know, at some point I started selling more. And then yeah, I had that experience and I saw these people were getting banned and I was like, wait, this is messed up. Why were they flagged? Because they use AI? And I think because they're an old model, they flagged it as misleading. Like maybe they think that it's not really Geox. I don't know why. And the thing is, I caught on that if they say that and then you either appeal or remove your listing, you're responding to them. But you know what I realized? If you don't do anything, the listing just stays there and there's no consequence. Because in the past, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm going to appeal it. And then if it gets accepted, it's fine. If it gets refused, they take it down. But I noticed that it was like the last time it happened after I took the listing down, like I deleted it, then it threatened me that I could lose access to Marketplace. And I was like, that's weird. It only happened after I deleted it. So the next time they flagged my listing and, told me that it was misleading or whatever, I just didn't do anything. I just left it there. And you know what? Nothing happened. Just don't respond to it. But still, there's people that did not respond and they just got shut down completely. But it was so iffy, and I can't live with that kind of, like uncertainty. Here's another pair of boots I found. These ones are really great. They're leather, sheepskin, super nice. So yeah, I found these great boots at the thrift store, and then I found the church sale. My first time finding a church sale this entire time I've been spending fortune at the thrift store. I do have a fabulous wardrobe though now, I have to say. And then I found the church sale, and man, they were selling the shoes so cheap. I bought a whole bunch of them. But now I'm not having any sales, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying not to stress and to remember that it's in God's hands, and I'm sure He has a plan. Maybe He's just His way of telling me, Sonia, give up. Don't work so hard. So you like my art, huh? Oh, my shirt. Thanks. It's Desigual. That's a Desigual shirt. I love this too. Thrifted, and I'm wearing Desigual jeans too. Thrifted. Hold on. Yeah, so my mother, yeah, this was one of her paintings. I'm not sure where that is. This painting was in our home, like as I was growing up. And my mother painted that one up there. And she painted this one. And what does it say? Yeah, that was 1961. And this one, 1962. And this was like right when she started as a stewardess. And this was like her first trip where she took her first vacation, and it was like Bahamas or Bermuda or something, and the lady that ran the like inn or whatever that she stayed at posed for her. Yeah, my mom painted that, and she painted the Mexican boy up there. And my mother kind of she really had a thing for, like, she really thought that black people and Hispanic people were beautiful. And this was like way before any of this whole like political stuff we have now. And my mother always just thought that they were beautiful because they had beautiful cheekbones and beautiful eyes. She said, "Oh, the beautiful eyes and the cheekbones and the beautiful teeth." And she thought Mexican people were so good looking. And she loved the artist Zuniga, and she was, very inspired by him. And she used to do like these Zuniga type sculptures of these chubby women. And yeah, my mother basically her motto was black is beautiful, you know, and also brown, Mexican. And I never saw her doing any paintings of Asians, but you know, anyway, she just basically just loved the bone structure, you know? So, she had all these paintings, yeah, of like, you know, Mexican people and Caribbean people, and they were in the house. And she was always pointing out how beautiful they were, you know, not them, but like she'd see like a really good looking, you know, like Mexican or Hispanic. Oh, look, did you see what a beautiful girl, the cheekbones, and you know, yeah. So I have her paintings. Oh, I'm gonna bring this back in here. I'm gonna pretty much wrap it up too. Oh, my little baby doll's asleep. How sweet. Yeah. My little angel is sleeping. Wait. Oh yeah, you know, like back in the 60s, like it wasn't like now. Like they still pretty much use almost only white models, and you know, yeah, like white models on the covers, and the beauty standard was very like Caucasian oriented, so she was really ahead of her time. Just gonna charge this babe. I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys. So basically, yeah, I'm like totally exhausted with doing Poshmark and all this crap, and it was going well, and then I had one day where I made a ton of sales, and then nothing. It's just sort of dropped off. So there was the case of the woman who bought the dress who tried to make a bogus claim against me and then dropped it when I said, yeah, send it back, fine. And then yesterday, somebody bought shoes out of nowhere, and I had them listed for 45, and he offered me 25. I was like, yeah, whatever, take the shoes, because they're actually Justin's shoes. And I said, okay, I'll list them and we'll split it, so we get $10 each. So what do I care, you know? I wasn't expecting to get full price anyway. So I accept his offer of 25, and literally like moments after the offer is accepted, he messages me and he tells me, oh, can you cancel the offer? I made a mistake. I didn't check the size. And at first I was like, yeah, you know, no problem. I'll look into it. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Then I started looking into it and I realized I can't do that because any purchase made through an offer is final sale. Because I said, don't you have the option to cancel on your end? Well, you only do if you do buy now. So if I drop a price and you use buy now, you do have time to cancel. But if you made an offer or I made an offer or a bundle offer, you can't cancel. It's final sale. And I have the option that I can cancel the sale on my end, but they give me the choices of like, because I couldn't find it or because the item was damaged. And because of the conversation, it's all recorded that he is asking me to cancel. And I discovered that if I cancel a purchase because of somebody's buyer's remorse on a final sale, I'm going to get shadow banned, you know, according to the internet. So I told him, I'm sorry, I can't do it. So I was kind of wondering, like, that was really weird. I even said to him, like, how did you not check the size? Like, how is that even possible? Have you ever heard of someone buying shoes on the internet without checking the size? Is that crazy? Who does that? Now I'm feeling, you know, paranoid, like very suspicious. Like, why would he do that? Hey, you don't check the size and you just go ahead and buy the shoes? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I guess that's it. I just want to let you know, yeah, Poshmark is like way taking up my time. I don't understand how people say that they work 10 hours a week on it. It doesn't make any sense. Of course, yeah, GTO, yeah, the first thing you check is size. You think I would go and like click on a pair of shoes and pay for them, and then it turns out they're a size 6? It doesn't make any sense. It almost seemed to me like he did it on purpose. Like he made this offer just to buy it, just to cancel it for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, who knows? Like, is it possible? I don't know. They're 13 extra wide, and it said 13 extra wide in the title and in the size and in the description. Like, how can you miss that? Hi, Cajun. Nice to see you. I'm gonna go to bed now. I just wanted to give you the update. And I still haven't gotten myself the Posh Sidekick, so I'm still like trying to like do the shares and whatever, but I figured, well, let me get a decent amount of listings up and then I'll do that. But I don't know. Well, I don't mind spending the $40 if it actually works. Probably didn't expect the offer to be accepted. Well, yeah, I guess, but that's not an excuse. It's kind of weird. Why would he do that? You work no hours a week? Oh, good. Are you retired? Maybe you're a millionaire. I told you, like, hit that button, you know? Like, you want me to buy a house? Help me out. Anita needs help. Yeah, it is crazy, Cheryl. I know, you do have weird people. There's this one person that likes a lot of things in my store, and I used to send her, I would send a 20% offer. Like, if somebody likes it, I take it. Like, they like it, but they don't like the price, so I'll send them an offer. And this one person, I stopped sending her offers because she likes everything, but she never takes me up on an offer. So I was like, okay, you know, it's fine. Sometimes you buy things on impulse and regret it. I buy a lot of stuff. I spent like $300 this week on new merchandise, but that's because like I had all the spring and summer, like I told you. I sold a lot of it. I must have sold 100 things just in the last few months. Yeah, I mean, in the last, how long have I been on Poshmark? March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months. So in between Marketplace and Poshmark, I sold at least 100 things. 85 on Poshmark. So I can justify my spending. I'm like, well, I'm not just a compulsive shopper. I'm a reseller. But then I'm like, no, I think I'm a compulsive shopper. Like, I just can't pass it up. Oh, you did? You bought shoes? That's cool. I bought a lot of stuff on Poshmark. I bought all the Christmas gifts for the kids, like for my son and my nieces and nephews. Um, I already bought it all on Poshmark. I found really nice little things for them. And I got his birthday gifts on there too. And I have a Christmas gift for him. I can't wait to give him. It's a Hungarian. It's a vintage Hungarian flask with like deer skin on it. He's gonna love it. And I also bought a Mongolian yurt. Um, like, what is it? Like, it's like a hanging. You know, it's like a tent flap. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but wait, I should show it to you. You should see it. You have to see it. Wait, you want to see it? I have to go get it. Stay here. Well, no, I'll bring you with me. I couldn't pass this one up. You're gonna see. Oh, you want to see it? Okay. Man, I am so crazy. Like, why am I on here? It's in the middle of the night showing you my Mongolian yurt hanging. Okay, so I need a bigger apartment because look, this is like, okay, these are things this is for my mom. This is for my mom. This I bought to resell. It's a fancy brand, but I don't know, nobody's buying my stuff. This is a very fancy sweater that I bought for myself. This is for my mannequin. This is gorgeous. I want you to see it. I'm going to show you the yurt thing too. This is vintage, and I thought I'd sell it, but now I'm in love with it. Look at this. It's wool. It's like 97% wool. And then it has crochet. And then it has fur. And it has these kind of buttons. I mean, you can't see it too well lying like this, but look that. And this I got at the church yard sale. I mean, it's really cool. Very boho. Anyway, oh, that's from the yard sale, the church thing too. Okay, here's the Mongolian yurt. Like, look at this. Like, you guys,
It's not doable. Like, I'm running out of space. But I couldn't pass them up. Look, I got these at the thrift store. And some of the things I bought at the thrift store, I paid some decent money for it. I didn't get it cheap. But look how cool they are. They're from Europe. And they're red suede with faux fur inside. They're super nice. I mean, if nobody wants them, I'll wear them. Okay, but here's the Mongolian yurt. I don't usually buy things like this. Like, I buy things like this, little boots, and I try to sell them. And I gotta tell you though, honestly, you guys, I make like $10 or $20 profit per item. It's not like I'm making $100. You know, like I buy something for $10 and I list it for 50. I give a 30% discount and a shipping discount. I sell it for 35. Wait, no. 30% discount, I'd be selling it for 35. Then I take home 28. I think. Yeah. So if I pay $10, I make $18. So I list it for 50, but I actually only take home 18. I only profit what, 18? If I pay $10. So it's not like you think, you know, like you buy it for $1, you sell it for 50, and you keep the 50, you know. It's actually like kind of a small profit if you think about it. In a way, now that I started doing that on Poshmark and I realize how after all the discounts and the Poshmark 20% fee and the shipping discounts, that I'm, you know, if you get $20 profit on an item on Poshmark, it's considered pretty good. Now I realize, well, hell, I'll just sell it for less on Marketplace. It's a lot easier. And there was a jacket I had up on Poshmark for 6 months, and I sold it for $30 the other day because I realized, well, that's pretty good, you know, on Marketplace, yeah. At least it's out of my closet. A lot of work. Yeah, but it seems like it really depends how you do it. I think that the problem really is the photographing and the lighting and the fact that I have nowhere to put the stuff because my place is so small. I have nowhere to photograph it. It's really difficult. I don't know. And also, maybe my style is very, very eclectic. So I started off with like vintage, but then I started like experimenting with popular styles. I sold a little bit of Lululemon and Torrid and stuff. But I mean, yeah, my store's pretty eclectic, you know. So, okay, let me show you this thing. Trying to do this with one hand is kind of tricky. This thing is an absolute gem, though. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see it. What size is my place? It's actually a 3.5 where they put a wall in the living room. So I'm actually sleeping in what used to be the dining area that connected the kitchen and the living room. It was really just because look, the kitchen is just like a walk-through, and this used to be like the dining area of the kitchen, and this wall was not here, and they put the wall, so now I sleep in here. But check it out. Oh my God, look at this, you guys. This is gorgeous. This is insane. This is a Mongolian yurt hanging. And it has these see, it has these little things here. So you're supposed to like put my vape down. You're supposed to put nails. See, these are like, wait, let me put my finger through it. What? No. Okay. So you just make a knot, I guess. Yeah. Oh man, I saw this thing on Marketplace and the ad was just like, it didn't do it justice. It was folded in half and it looked like nothing, but I knew what it was. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God. I thought it was one like from Kazakhstan. Like they have a special name, I forget what it is. But yeah, this is like Eurasian basically. And she told me she bought it in Mongolia. And it's hand embroidered. Like this is a legit like antique, you know, basically quality. This is something really, really special. Oh, look, it fits my bed too. These things sell for like $700 online. I paid 20. I was like, thank you very much. Made sure not to talk about it too much. Just thank you, ma'am. Here's your money. Hi, Lady Liberty. Yeah, it's really amazing, isn't it, this thing? So, I did buy that. I mean, am I crazy for buying this thing? I love you too. I don't know. Am I crazy? My mother was the same way. She had this thing for like antiques. Oh my God, you guys, you know what else I found? I told myself I'm not going to start showing you all my crap. But here I am. I'm doing it again. You guys, you won't believe what I found. And this stuff is not even listed. Like, this is my personal collection. What's listed is all the shoes. Well, most of them. The thrift store clothes. I'm a trash panda. That's what you won't believe what I found, though. I'll show you real quick. Oh no, I don't want to sleep with it. I'd be afraid I'd ruin it. I don't even know where to put it. I was going to hang it up in this room, up on the wall, over Gunner's bed, because he likes that kind of stuff. I have this painting of my mother that I painted. You guys have seen it up there. I painted that a long time ago. What can you do with a portrait of an individual who's not a famous person? Nobody wants to buy it. I'm not sure I want to. I have mixed feelings about that painting. I like to forget about my earlier life. I don't really want to be reminded of it. I had a lot of heartache and whatever, and I just like to move on, so I don't know. I painted it, so I'm not particularly attached to it. Yeah, I'm an artist. Yeah, I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I'm like legit, you know. I specialize in painting. All right. Keep it. What? The painting of my mother? Well, I feel like because it's her, like I can't get rid of it because it feels like I'm getting rid of a piece of her. But honestly, I don't particularly want it in my room here, you know? I never really hung my own art up. Well, the art that I made that I hang up is my floral star. Hey, Kanga, how are you? How's your health? I hope you're doing okay. Okay, but check out what. Oh my god, I found a couple of things. Shit, I really need to go to bed. It's okay, I'll catch up later. I've already been on here for an hour and a half. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's a Desigual shirt. I thrifted it. Okay, check this out. Okay, wait, I'll show you this one first. This little thing was just sort of sitting there. It's vintage, it's hand painted, it's from Hungary. Kalocsa. Oh, it's probably pronounced Kalocsa. Anyway, these things are bloody valuable. You see these things on Etsy, like the price is insane. I haven't listed it, I just collected it. It's a napkin holder, yeah. And it's got that on both sides. So that was a legit treasure that I found. I found these. Don't get scared. They're not voodoo dolls, they're cute. They're Ndebele dolls from South Africa. I thought they were pretty cool. I didn't want them to end up in a landfill, so I saved them. I thought maybe somebody would like them, you know, maybe somebody has South African ancestry or something. Some African ancestry and they'd like to have them. Yeah. But these are special dolls. So these dolls are like good luck charms for like when you get married. So no, they're not salt and pepper shakers. Sorry, girls. You have to be nice with them. So like when a girl is going through, you know, becoming a woman,
the grandmother would make one of these for her, and then when she gets married, she'll give it, and the girl will like take care of the doll until she has a baby. Like it's like a fertility charm, basically. And once you've had 3 children, then you have to give the doll away, or it's bad luck. So I don't know why there's 2. Whether it's supposed to represent twins. But basically, yeah, it's sort of like not magic exactly, but sort of, you know, they're not voodoo dolls anyway, but they are part of their culture. They're not just regular dolls. They're like part of the ceremony of like becoming a woman and getting married and having children. So, you know, maybe I'll find a home for them. They're pretty cute though, eh? They're like a little spooky though, you know? Me and my mom. Aw. Yeah, you have to be nice to them. Yeah, make sure that they're comfortable in the closet. I'm like almost at the point where I want to put them in bed and take care of them, but I was like, oh, Sonia, it's getting a little weird, you know? Okay, hold on. But I have something else. I have to be very careful with this. Oh, wait, I'll show you this one first. This, I mean, these China porcelain or whatever figurines of dogs from mid-century, apparently they're highly collectible. It's from Japan. It has like, for some reason it looks like the I don't know if it's a flaw. I think it seems like it's a flaw when it was made. Or does this paint come off? Maybe paint comes off. Anyway, I'm not really a big fan of ceramic animals myself, but I have a couple to see if other people want them. Do I have a P.O. box? I do. Oh yeah, somebody, Rose, sent me the washboard. You have to email me, thetruthergirls@gmail.com. I'll give you my address. Okay, but I didn't show you the best thing yet. A head vase, like a head? That's interesting. Okay, this is so valuable that I'm scared to even handle it. Like, I literally get anxiety taking it out. I'm so scared that I'm gonna fumble and drop it. So this is a 3-piece set. It's from Burke's. So this is a lighter. Does it work? Yeah, you have to fill it up. See, there's the lighter. And this is the cigarette holder. There's no chips in it. It's a complete set. So you put your little cigarettes in there, and then you light it, and then here's your ashtray. So I was like, holy shit, because I saw this on the bottom, and I was like, damn, that looks like Burke's, you know? I was like, what's this doing in the thrift store? Probably the most valuable thing I've ever found. With gold in the bottom there. What does it say? Hand painted in, made in France? Oh, I can't even read it. Wait, what does it say? Oh, made in, yeah, hand painted, made in France. Yeah, it's like something from a movie set. Yeah, so this is very valuable, so I better take care of it. Oh god, I'm so scared to even handle it. Okay. I'm gonna put it away. Well, I mean, that was the main thing. Like, I found the Burke's set, and I found the Hungarian napkin holder and the Mongolian blanket. but I'm not putting that on Poshmark. But yeah. A movie prop lady. Well, I have a friend who's starting to use me as a personal shopper. They give her super great deals too. She's bought a lot of things off me. Well, I've seen the set of the lighter and the ashtray selling for about 160. But with also the cigarette holder, I don't know, it's probably worth like a couple $100. I'd have to check. There's this one website, now I can't remember what the name is, where they have like really fancy stuff. I know the website. I've been there before. I've seen things. There's things that I have that are on there. Hi. But I can't remember the name of it right now. I don't know. I'm just so tired. It's not Gem. It's not The Real Real. It's another one. There's so many of them. Yeah. Yeah, I do appreciate things. I never used to collect things before. Before I got into selling things, I would never buy knickknacks. I had one knickknack, and it's a little parakeet. He's up there. It's the only one I have. I was always anti knickknacks, anti shopping. I used to say I shop like a guy. But now, like, I buy really cheap stuff and I mark it up and sell it. So why not, right? It's fun. I'm not spending any money. You know, I might only break even, but it's okay, you know. It's not like I'm blowing my money. But yeah, I have to find a better way to like make it work a little better. Wait, what's going on with Kanga? I must have missed your message because I was looking at my Mongolian blanket. Oh, sorry, Kanga. I missed what you said. What's going on with you, Kanga? I hope you're okay, though. I hope it's not worse. I know you have like issues on an ongoing basis. I'll go up to the oratory and say a prayer for you, Gunnar. Oh, you like what I'm doing here, Jody? That's cool. Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, I like doing this too. I love seeing you guys here. It's lots of fun. First dibs. That's the one. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah, first dibs. Yeah, that could go on first dibs. They'd probably take it. I don't know. How do you get your stuff up on there? I'll have to find out. My store name on Poshmark, it's Elga's Bazaar, but I can only sell to Canadians because there's no like cross-border selling. But I always say, like, if you want anything in my store, email me at thetruthergirls@gmail.com because I can sell things, you know, privately. You know, they don't own me. I have the same items cross-listed. So if you guys like anything, but I didn't put a lot of the hard goods, like the home stuff. What I was going to do was finish putting it, I was going to put all my summer stuff. I didn't get all of it on, but most of it. Putting all the sweaters and the boots now. And I'm going to put the hard goods after because I figured people might buy them as Christmas gifts. But some of them, like the Birks, it's like, nah, you know, don't expect me to give you 30% off and then I'm going to give you a shipping discount and Poshmark's going to take 20%. Like, for stuff like the Mongolian blanket or that, I don't want to sell it if I'm going to just like get so little for it. I'd rather just keep it until I find a better way to sell it. Wait, what'd you say, Michelle? You're in Canada? Oh, Michelle, you can buy from me on Poshmark. I mean, I prefer if you do it that way. It's better. It's much easier. And I can give you a really good deal. Like on when we have closet clearouts, I can like make one listing and reduce the price and you get one discounted shipping. Like if there's like 3 or 4 things that you like, I can put them all into one new listing and make like a bundle listing and then lower the price and then you get the discount shipping. What? My mom's physiognomy looks immensely evil? I don't know what you're talking about. My mom doesn't look evil. And she's not evil. No, I don't have Venmo. I don't have my shit together. Oh yeah, Michelle, Elga's Bazaar. You know what you can do? Go on there, like an item and put it in a bundle just so I know it's you and then you can message me, we can talk. But I can't like message you, like give you my email on there, because they're going to see that as an off-platform transaction. But if I know you from outside and you have my Gmail, thetruthergirls@gmail.com, you message me there, but message me on Poshmark so I know it's you. I will say a prayer for you, Kanga. We've had a lot of really great answers to our prayers. I'll say prayers for you for your health. I'll go with Gunnar. Well, is there something that they can do to fix your problem? I know it's with your liver. It's just so I know what to pray for. I'm going to end up turning into a Catholic. Last time we went up there, Gunnar said a prayer at the altar of St. Joseph, protector of virgins. He prayed for his girlfriend. But some stuff happened, like right after that. We were like, holy crap, it happens fast. Maybe I should be a Catholic. Anyway, I'm going to wake him up, you know? Well, Kanga, you have my email too, so you can email me if you have a specific prayer request, and I'll write it on a paper and I'll put it in the wall. I mean, there's something going on at that oratory, I'm telling you. Like, it's when you come in there, it's like you feel an energy, you know? Oh, I'm going to worship night tomorrow night because it's worship night and I feel all right. I'm so excited. I haven't been to worship night in ages. Yeah, I know God hears you no matter where you are, but there's something about that oratory, because we had like miraculous like answer to prayer. It was like literal one. It was crazy. It was almost like as if magic, you know. It was really dramatic. Anyway, I'm gonna go to worship night tomorrow night. That's gonna be awesome. If you're in Montreal, they're having worship night at Evangel, so you can show up there and I'll be there. Oh, it's genetic. Ugh, what a drag. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. It's so shitty to have health problems. Yeah, castor oil packs are amazing. They help a lot of things. Okay, email me, Kanga. Okay, I have to go to sleep too. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming hanging out with me. It's really great to see you, and thanks for, you know, sticking around while I show you all my crap. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. I have a couple of videos that I need to just edit and throw on there, so. Okay, have a good night, guys. God bless. See you soon.